"It is my birthday," she said, sliding the reservation confirmation across our kitchen counter. "You are paying for everyone. That is what real boyfriends do." I looked at the party of 23 she had invited to the most expensive restaurant in the city. Then, she discovered what real accountability looked like when the waiter brought 23 separate checks, and I stood up with only her sister, leaving Emily with a $4,800 bill and a table full of friends who finally saw exactly what kind of person she really was. I am a financial analyst, not the Wall Street kind, who moves millions with a keystroke, but the practical kind, who helps normal people navigate their retirement accounts and mortgage refinancing. My world is built on spreadsheets, compound interest calculations, and the fundamental principle that money reveals character faster than any other force in the universe. Emily Carter was supposed to be different from the gold diggers and status seekers I had dated before. She was a nurse, for God's sake, someone who cared for others, who understood sacrifice, who knew the value of hard work. She made $65,000 a year to my $95,000. Not wealthy, but comfortable. We weren't supposed to be about money. I see now that everyone is about money. The only question is whether they are honest about it. We had been together for 18 months. She moved into my apartment after 6 months. My apartment that I had bought before we met, where I covered the mortgage, utilities, and homeowner association fees. Her contribution was supposed to be groceries and her own personal expenses. Partnership, she called it, proportional to our incomes. The first sign of trouble was so small, I almost missed it. 3 months after moving in, she suggested we get a joint credit card for shared expenses. "It will make tracking easier," she said, already filling out the application on her laptop. "We can see exactly what we are spending on us versus individual purchases." I agreed. Why wouldn't I? Transparency in finances is healthy for relationships. I added her as an authorized user on my premium card, the one with the $450 annual fee and triple points on dining and travel. The first month's bill was normal. The second month jumped by $800. The third month hit $3,000. "Birthday presents for friends," she explained, waving off my concern. "You know how many birthdays are in the spring. Don't worry, they will return the favor when it is my birthday." Her birthday, October 15th. She had been planning it since July, dropping hints with the subtlety of a freight train. She created a Pinterest board called Dirty 30 Dreams. She forwarded me articles about how to throw an unforgettable birthday bash. She left her laptop open to restaurant reservations at Augustine's, the new French Asian fusion place, where appetizers started at $40. "I only turned 30 once," she would say, modeling yet another potential birthday outfit. "I want it to be perfect." Her sister Hannah saw it differently. Hannah was 25, worked as a teacher, and possessed the kind of quiet wisdom that made you forget she was the younger sibling. She would pull me aside during family dinners with gentle warnings. "Emily's always been about appearances," Hannah told me once while Emily was taking selfies with her new designer bag. Even as kids, she would rather have one designer item than 10 regular things. "Just be careful, Jack." I should have listened to Hannah. But Emily was beautiful, charming when she wanted to be, and had this way of making you feel like you were part of something special just by being with her. The real red flag came 2 weeks before her birthday. I was reviewing our credit card statements for tax purposes when I noticed a pattern. Venmo payments, $500 here, $750 there, all to someone named Derek, with football and heart emojis next to his name. Derek, her ex-boyfriend, the personal trainer who had cheated on her with 3 different clients and left her emotionally destroyed. According to the story she had told me with tears in her eyes on our 3rd date, I did what any financial analyst would do. I investigated. The Venmo transactions were public, a rookie mistake on Emily's part. The comments told a story. For the gym membership car payment help, just because our secret total transferred over 6 months, $8,500. My money, going to her ex-boyfriend. I sat in my home office, staring at the screen, feeling something between rage and revelation. But then, a strange calm descended. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. Her birthday was coming up. And she had been so specific about what she wanted. She was about to get exactly what she deserved. The birthday dinner planning intensified. Emily created a group chat with 23 people. Her entire social circle plus some cousins and coworkers she barely spoke to. Jack's treating us to Augustine's for my dirty 30. She announced in the chat. Dress code is cocktail chic. This is going to be epic. I watched the responses roll in. Excitement, congratulations, celebration emojis. Everyone loves a free meal at a place they couldn't normally afford. She showed me the chat with pride. Look how excited everyone is. This is going to be the birthday everyone talks about for years. It certainly will be, I agreed. 3 days before the dinner, I called Augustine's directly. I need to modify our reservation, I said to the manager. Party of 23, under Morrison. Of course. Sir, what changes would you like to make? I want to ensure we can do separate checks. I will be covering myself and one other person. The rest will be individual bills. There was a pause. That is unusual for a party this size. Sir, it is a teaching moment, I explained. About financial responsibility. I see, we can accommodate that. Should we inform the party when they arrive? No, I said. Let's make it a surprise at the end. The manager chuckled. Understood. Sir, we will handle it discreetly. I had one more call to make. Hannah, hey Jack, she answered warmly. Getting ready for the big production, Hannah. I need to tell you something, I said. About the dinner. About Emily, I told her everything. The money transfers to Derek, the credit card abuse, the entire situation. She listened quietly. I am not surprised, she finally said. Disappointed, but not surprised. What are you going to do? I am going to give her the birthday she deserves, I said. But I wanted you to know that when the bill comes, I am only paying for you and me. You have been nothing but kind to me, and you shouldn't be punished for your sister's behavior. Jack, you don't have to, I want to, I interrupted. You are the only one in that room who has ever treated me like a person instead of a credit card. There was silence, then a soft, thank you. Do you want me to warn her? No, I said. She made her choices. Now she gets to live with them. The night of the dinner, Emily was radiant. She wore a $400 dress she had bought with a joint credit card. Jewelry I didn't recognize, probably a gift from Derek, and the kind of smile that comes from thinking you have won. The restaurant was perfect. Dim lighting. Exposed brick. The kind of place where water comes in blue bottles and costs $15. Emily had reserved the private dining room, complete with its own bar and dedicated waitstaff. Hannah arrived early, dressed simply but elegantly in a dress that probably cost less than Emily's shoes. She hugged me warmly. You are a good man, Jack, she whispered. Emily's lucky to have you. We will see about that, I replied. The guests arrived in waves. Emily's college friends, her work friends, cousins I would met once at Christmas, and several people I had never seen before. Emily held court at the head of the table, regaling everyone with stories about how I had insisted on making her birthday special. Jack knows how to treat a queen, she announced, raising her third glass of champagne. That is why I keep him around. Everyone laughed. I smiled and raised my own glass. The dinner was a production. Appetizers for the table included oysters, Wagyu beef carpaccio, truffle mac and cheese. Emily ordered for everyone, not even looking at prices. The birthday girl gets what she wants, she declared, ordering bottles of wine that cost more than some people's rent. I kept a running tally in my head. We were already at $2,000 and the mains hadn't even arrived. The entrées came out like a parade. Lobster thermidor, duck confit, 60-day aged ribeye. Emily had ordered the tasting menu for herself. 7 courses at $295. Hannah, sitting next to me, had ordered a simple pasta dish, the cheapest entrée on the menu at $28. You could have ordered anything, I told her quietly. This is perfect, she replied. I don't need excess to be happy. The contrast between the sisters had never been clearer. As the evening progressed, Emily got louder, more demanding. She sent back her steak for being medium plus. Not medium. She complained about the wine. She made the waiter take multiple group photos, never satisfied with the angles. Her friends were getting drunk on wine I was supposedly paying for. The cousin I would never met ordered a $200 bottle of scotch. The coworkers were already planning their next free dinner on my dime. Jack, you are the best. One of them slurred. Emily's so lucky. My boyfriend would never do this. He is one of a kind, Emily said, not looking at me. She was texting under the table. I knew who she was texting. Then came dessert. The staff brought out a custom birthday cake. 3 tiers, gold leaf, sparklers. The whole restaurant turned to watch as we sang happy birthday. Emily was glowing, living her Instagram dream speech. Someone called out. Emily stood, swaying slightly from the champagne. "I just want to thank everyone for coming to celebrate me," she began. 30 is when a woman really knows her worth. "And I am worth all of this and more," she pointed to me. "And special thanks to Jack, who understands that investing in your partner's happiness is the best investment you can make. He is proving tonight that he knows how to value what he has." To Emily, everyone cheered. "Actually," I said, standing up, "I would like to say something too." The room quieted. "Emily's right. Tonight is about understanding worth and value. It is about investing in what matters and recognizing what doesn't." Emily beamed, thinking this was leading to a proposal. Several phones came out to record. "That is why," I continued, pulling out my phone, "I need to share something important about financial responsibility and truth in relationships." I had screenshots ready. I held up my phone so everyone could see. "These are Venmo transactions from the last 6 months," I said, my voice calm and clear. "Emily has been sending money to someone named Derek. For those who don't know, that is her ex-boyfriend." The room went silent. Emily's face drained of color. "Jack, what are you doing?" she hissed. $8,500 in total," I continued. "From our joint account, which means she has been using my money to support her ex while telling me she needed help with her expenses." I swiped through the screenshots, showing the payments, the comments, the dates. "But that is not why we are here," I said. "We are here for a birthday dinner, and birthdays are about gifts. So here is my gift to you, Emily." Right on cue, the waiters entered with leather folders. They placed one in front of each guest. Emily grabbed hers first, her hands shaking. She opened it, and her face went from pale to red to purple. "What is this?" she shrieked. "Your individual check," I said calmly. "You see, I called ahead and arranged for separate bills. I am covering Hannah and myself. Everyone else is responsible for their own meals." The room erupted. People were opening their checks, gasping at the numbers. The cousin with the scotch was looking at a $400 bill. Emily's coworkers were frantically calculating if they had enough credit available on their cards. "You cannot do this," Emily screamed. "You promised. You said you were paying." "No," I corrected. "You said I was paying. I never agreed to anything. I just didn't correct your assumption." Her friends were looking at her now. Really looking at her. The woman who had promised them a free luxury dinner, who had encouraged them to order the most expensive items, who had made this all about her status and wealth she didn't have. "This is insane," one of her college friends said, looking at her $300 bill. "Emily, you said he was covering everything." "He is," Emily insisted, turning to me. "Tell them you are joking." "I am not joking," I said. "I am also not paying for your dinner. Your 7-course tasting menu, plus wine, plus champagne, plus your share of the appetizers, comes to $480. Though I am sure Derek can help you with that. You know, since you have been so generous with him using my money." The table was in chaos. People were pulling out credit cards, arguing about who ordered what appetizers, calculating tips on their phones. Several people were on their phones trying to transfer money from savings. Emily's cousin stood up. "This is bullshit. I am not paying for this." "Then you will be dealing with the restaurant," I said. "I am sure they have procedures for people who dine and dash." The manager appeared, having been briefed on the situation. "Ladies and gentlemen, we will need to settle all bills before anyone leaves the private dining room. We accept all major credit cards, and we can split payments if necessary." Emily was crying now, mascara running down her face. "How could you do this to me, on my birthday? How could you steal $8,000 from me to give to your ex?" I responded. "How could you lie to my face every single day? How could you use me like a human ATM while sleeping in my bed?" Hannah stood up quietly and placed her card in her folder. Her pasta and single glass of wine came to $45. I handed my card to the waiter as well. My meal and drinks were $70. "We are leaving," I announced. "Happy birthday, Emily." As we walked toward the door, Emily grabbed my arm. "Please," she begged. "Don't do this. I cannot afford this." Then you shouldn't have ordered it, I said, removing her hand from my arm. Maybe Derek can help. Oh wait, he cannot, because he has been living off my money through you. Her friends were watching now, seeing Emily for who she really was. The facade had crumbled completely. You are all judging me, Emily screamed at her friends. But you were happy to come for the free meal. You are all just as bad. We came because you invited us. One of them shot back. You said your rich boyfriend was treating everyone. You lied to us. Hannah touched my arm. Let's go, Jack. As we reached the door, I turned back one last time. Emily was surrounded by angry friends, demanding she figure out how to pay since this was her party. The waiter was standing firm, not letting anyone leave until bills were settled. The manager was on the phone, probably with the police given the escalating situation. Oh, Emily, I called out. One more thing. You will need to find a new place to live. I have already changed the locks. The last thing I heard as we left was Emily screaming that she was going to sue me, followed by her friend asking how she planned to afford a lawyer when she couldn't even pay for dinner.